What's up, guys? This is Ultar here. This is my top 5 wrestlers in history. This is the guys that made me hooked on wrestling and WWE in general. I have to say, I was not so much into wrestling when I was a kid. They didn't show WWE or WCW in Sweden, where I'm from, and the internet was kinda new, and the WWE network was kinda hard to get, if you know what I mean. So I started to play WWE games on my friend's PlayStation in the late 90s, and the wrestlers were so cool. I was about 9 or 10 years old at the time, so I thought every muscled bonehead was cool. The ring gear, the attitude, and the sick moves were thrilling to me. Well, let's start the countdown, shall we? Number 5, we have Hulk Hogan. Yeah, I know, Hulk said racist stuff and he is correctly banned from WWE at the moment, but I think they will forgive him. Wrestlers coming back from scandals is not a new thing. Just last year we had Seth Rollins with his junk all over Twitter and overall internet. But Hulk Hogan was the man in my childhood. Maybe I didn't know much about wrestling, but I knew about Hulk Hogan. Everyone knew about him. He was the biggest star in the 80s and the early 90s. His heel turn at Bash at the Beach 96 was unheard of. This super babyface turning heel. It was an awesome moment and really bold from Hogan. What if John Cena would do something like this? Makes you wonder. Number 4, we have Y2J Chris Jericho. This is the guy that made me fall in love with technical wrestling. I was actually an amateur wrestler as a kid, so that's why I like the holds and the skill that wrestlers put into them. Compared to Hogan, this is a guy almost half his size and is still capable of slaying giants. And still, at age 44, he can still have top-class matches, like his feud with AJ Styles. It was pure awesomeness. Maybe he can thank DDP Yoga for that. Number 3, we have Dolph Ziggler. Hear me out, okay? Because Ziggler today is not the wrestler I knew a couple of years ago. Dolph is one of the biggest underdogs in the business, and he should have had some more pushes in his career. It looked good for him when he was the last man standing in the Survivor Series 2014, but the next year was awful for him and it made me lose interest in the guy. Ziggler has an amateur wrestler background, where at Kent State he had a record for most career wins in history. He had that record. It has been broken since then. But it's the little things that matter. When he won the Intercontinental title from The Miz at SummerSlam 2014, I jumped around in my room because I was so happy. Dolph deserved it so much. Number 2, we have The Undertaker. What is there to be said about the dead man that no one else has said? Inspirational is my word for him. He's a 25+ year servant of WWE and he still wrestles. His matches last year against Brock Lesnar were brutal and he still got it. When I think about The Undertaker, I think WrestleMania and the streak that was never meant to be broken. Wrestlers like Shawn Michaels, Jake the Snake Roberts, CM Punk, Edge, Triple H, and many more couldn't beat him. I know Brock is a legitimate fighter and could beat anyone in the roster at a real fight, but it sucked that the streak was broken. And here we are, my favorite wrestler in history. It's Bret the Hitman Hart. The executioner of excellence was the guy I was rooting for from the start. Of course, everyone was talking about Hogan, but when this smaller guy in his pink outfit with those awesome glasses got in the ring, he delivered. He was perfection. I don't know how many matches I have watched of him on YouTube, but I have not seen one where he looked bad. He was always focused, and boy did he show the world what he could do. Tragedy has struck the Hitman too many times. His brother Owen tragically lost his life when he fell from his wire in a WWE pay-per-view. Goldberg ended his career with a super kick that gave him brain damage and also his stroke. Recently he battled cancer and won, and I was so happy for him. Another win for the Hitman. Well, that is my list of wrestlers that I adore still to this day. Please like and subscribe if you like this video, and have a great day.